Starving. I'm about to wash it. That thing looks grody. Yeah, I'm about to wash your sock. Bring it up closer. Apologies for being a little late, but I'm hungry, guys. I almost was about to say read tomorrow, but yeah, I wanted to read, so. And my avocado salad with mushrooms and sweet peppers and organic vinaigrette with a little extra olive oil, some maters, and then some bison. Bison, yeah. Real bison. Well, I shouldn't be eating, but I am. I'm trying to finish it off. I want to give it away, but I'm gonna eat it. We have horseradish and horseradish mustard and hot sauce. The bison, friend of mine on the res, I go there and I didn't help skin this one, but I was watching when he do it, and I told him what part I want, and he ground it up, and I defrosted it last night. And it don't have all them products and soy and all other crap in it, human DNA and all other crap. At least I hope not. Well, his family's been raising bison for a long time. Only can have a few of them, as long as they mate. Well, more than 3, but you know. And oh man, that's good. All right. With dandelion, all that in there. This is my second to last meal, guys. Pretty big one. I'm gonna set it down to the side here and get to reading, because I gotta let some of it digest. It's a lot. Avocado with all the good. Oh, y'all can see it, huh? Yeah, very healthy. Oh, wow. It's delicious. This is just good. Oh my goodness. I'm hungry. Oh, I gotta eat it. A 6-hour window. I waited too long. Delicious. Horseradish is really good for you too, guys. Horseradish mustard, if you can find it. Non-GMO, natural, or organic, get it. If you know how to make it, it's even better. It's fabulous. The right opens your nose up, your sinuses. I put hot sauce on it because I didn't want it real spicy. So I got cayenne cooked into it. And I seasoned my bison and ground it. I put cayenne, thyme, black pepper, Himalayan salt. And that's it. And it's got a bite to it, but it's good. And with the peppers, tomatoes, the avocado, the avocate, the 7 different vegetables, it's just fabulous. The mushrooms. Y'all have to wait. I was gonna put it down, but damn, I'm hungry. In that 6-hour window. If you intermittent fast, make sure you stick to the time. Don't say, oh, well, it's an hour later. No, don't do it. It's a very small plate, but the salad makes it look like it's big, and it's not. Oh, it's so good. This is like, wow. Every time I make something, eat a drink or whatever, it's like, wow. So, oh man. I'll cook something, make you feel like you're jealous. You can't have nobody else. Oh, you got to go. Oh, yeah, no. I was like, yeah, no. I know some of y'all in your big head going, I ain't come here to watch a nigga eat. I ain't. Take your monkey ass somewhere else. I'm about to read. I just got to eat this down, like I said. I'm not looking for friends. All that bullshit. I'm looking for loyalty. Same loyalty I give. Oh, this is so good, y'all. I probably should say, I'll be on in about an hour. Fuck it. I'm gonna eat. Oh. And then the music is so comforting. Oh, man. And you don't want to eat it. You just want to smell the plate. Get away. Little big bro, he's like, if I got something, he got to see. I'm gonna wash your sock, man. That thing look, what? And how did it get like that? That's why I let you take it outside. He probably wouldn't even play with it after I watched it. Old sock I gave him when he was a kitten. He would run back and forth with it. I think I watched it twice. And he'll put it somewhere. And it'll just be there. I'm like, so I'll pick it out the way. What the heck? So then I'll get the tennis ball, a little fish or whatever, and we'll play fetch. He'll pick it up and turn around with it, but he won't bring it back. And he'll sit down beside it, looking at me, waiting for me to pick it up and throw it in the other direction so he can take off and get it. He'll pick it up, turn around, drop it, look at me, he'll sit down. All right. Let's go ahead and get this, let's read again. $17. Oh, man. For real? Let me make sure. That's the right one. That's the right one. Right. Okay. Right. My apologies. Oh, excuse me. That was good. Let's take my B1. You gotta get B1. Don't get synthetic and DHEA. Get your blood checked before you take DHEA. Always do that. Please trust me. Don't be taking DHEA. Now I got natural stuff besides, Joe Rogan's brain focusing. But if you're gonna take DHEA, if you're an older individual and you want to push your limits, get your blood work. 'Cause you don't want to take DHEA. Don't get synthetic and DHEA. Always do that. Please trust me. Don't be taking DHEA. Now I got natural stuff besides, Joe Rogan's brain focusing. But if you're gonna take DHEA, if you're an older individual and you want to push your limits, you'll know. And then make sure you get the right, don't get the synthetic crap, get the plant-based ones, all right? Seriously. Yeah, unless you know what plant to get and the plant is where you're at, then go out there and farm it and learn how to make tinctures or whatever, or how to dehydrate it. Dehydrated is easy to make. 2x4s, plastic, what's that still called? Plastic, you know what I'm talking about. The little mini, you can use 2 fans from like an old computer and stuff, suck out, and then the right temp light placed right over top of it, and you can make a little small dehydrator. And if you really big, you know how to make a heating coil and put it in the back on the 2x4 with like 10. It's not hard, people. Trust me, it's not hard. $45.88, bro. Seriously? Yeah, all right. Thank you too. Thank you, James. Oh, why the machines gotta act like they're talking to us? So this is a press B1. For my coconut water. This is not filtered. This is regular old crystal gazer. I didn't feel like it. I haven't hardly drank water all day because I like to filter my water. So I'm a little pious about it. I don't trust anything they're bagging up in boxing or anything. So, but I had to take it. So. All right, let's get into the reading, guys. So how's everybody? Who's all in here? Hey, Rhonda, what's going on, beloved? Great Wolf. Hey, what's going on, Camp? Oh, hey, bro. Hey, Sue, what's up, baby girl? I know your son ain't in here watching. Had to send you on notification. That's just a shame. How they gonna tell one Jew how to talk about fake Jews? I use that word very loose. You know what I'm saying? These frauds, man. Fake history, fake world history, everything. I'm tired of them. Cancel culture. They'll be canceled. Like Oprah and them, when they go into their little hideaways down deep into the, y'all don't know this, but a lot of them go into the labyrinth. They don't be out in the homes or nothing. Trust me. They don't. They be down there living their life, laughing and joking, doing the sadist stuff they do. Then they come back up to the surface, walk out the doors or whatever, or get driven by the security that feels safe because they don't have to tolerate go through what we're going through, supposedly. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it's a fact. That's in my own opinion. You check it out on my ancestral soil. See, that's the power. To know it's your ancestral soil. And ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? So let's get the reading in. Pick one up at a time. Read just a little bit. We're not going to do a lot. Okay? I want to get to heaven bearers. Like, wow, like right now. The little lady that works out here, she says, are you getting younger? Because I remember when you came here, I was half dead, ma'am. I says, yeah, we're not old. None of us are. We're babies walking this earth. Trust me. Now the enemy has you believing you're old. She looked at me. She's Colombian. She was like this. Never looked at her like that. You know, red hair, Colombian. She's about 67. Wonderful lady. Wonderful lady. Whenever I see her and I've got my guns, I put them in the door and I walk outside and greet her. How you doing? Even though we can walk around with them, she knows I have one right here, but I just respect her like that, like my mom. Like, seriously. I am serious. She's a wonderful lady. Her husband, the coolest half-ass English-speaking motherfucker in the world. Yo, Red, you said that pretty damn good. Get my soul. Ah, man, what's going on, bro? Anyway, let's go ahead and read. Like I said, I got some homies. I told you about that, my Mexican boy in the little Detroit Peckerwood trying to act all like he was a gang member, and I had to crack him with my elbow. Not advocating violence. He ran over and grabbed my knife out my pocket. I didn't even know it. It was the DJ. And he was like, Red. And I looked, I was like, oh, he was getting ready to juke him up. My little Mexican homies. Two of them had grabbed dude. The other one was getting ready to cut his gillet to gillet. I had to grab him. I already yoked him up at the bowl. Oh, he said, oh, more, you messing with my butter. Oh, he was about to, and boy, that boy from Detroit working, they got him out of here. Working at when they had demo the electrical fire plant. So I go by the gym. I just stop in because I don't want to lift heavy. So I'll stop in just to throw the medicine ball or something like that when I'm out traveling. And he'll come over, give me a hug. ¿Qué pasa, amigo? Ah, mi hombre, ah, mi hermano. Ah, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, what's going on, baby? So I gave him a rebel, you know that knife that had the rebel flag on it? You know, I have three. I've got one that's black and gold, and I had two that was red, white, and blue. So I gave him the black and gold one. He was like, oh, same thing, Wayne. You know, he said, same thing, whatever. And I was like, bro, it's just a black and gold knife with the Confederate flag. But it's the most special one. Thank you. Every time I see him, it don't matter where he at. If he jogging, if he working out, his homies, he pulls it out. I'm not lying, y'all. I'm dead. If teacher, listen to me. Trust me on this, man. I got some family, bro. Believe what you want. Don't let me fool you on here. I love my Spanish brothers who know. And they don't have to make it up. He's walk up to me, you know you the Indian. Ah, man, quiet. It's okay. Don't start nothing in here. Well, fuck them, F.A. I'm like, oh, man. What in the world with y'all Mexicans, man? Y'all just want to make war every goddamn way. All right, let's get into this. George Jones, and I'm serious, an original history of ancient America. I was just playing with Little Man too, so I gave him a bag of, I gave him a bag of puffed Cheetos. Shut up. 7 years old, and it was on sale from $5.60. Damn, things about on. You could buy ammo for that price, but what used to be 50 cents. So anyway, I was on sale for 90 cents instead of the big bag of the puffed Cheetos. You know, it's like damn near $6 of taxes. You know, 90 cents, 99 cents. Little red, little sign on it. Date good. So he got him some Cheetos, puffies. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So we last left off at the hieroglyphics on the altar and idols of Copan, and we got all the way over to Herodotus states that the hieratic priest and the Demotic common were the two written languages of Egypt. Now pay attention again. Herodotus states, that the hieratic priest, the hieratic is priest, and the Demotic, D-M-O-T-I-C, that's common, were the two written languages of Egypt. These two were apart from the hieroglyphical or symbolical language. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Diodorus Siculus supports his predecessor and says that the former hieratic was used only by the priests, while the latter, for example, the introidial or demotic, was used in common by all the Egyptians. You see what I'm saying? It's like legal, speaking English or legalese. You feel me? For example, that it was the spoken language of the country, and as already shown, not used upon sacred edifices. I guess that would not give it a strength or something, right? I don't know. I'm going to look into that. From these facts derived from ancient custom, may be gathered why the ciphers of the common language of the Mexican Aborigines are not found upon their temples. There goes some fire for you. Pay attention. Listen. I'm gonna go right back up here. The former hieratic was used only by the priests, while the latter, for example, the introidial or demotic, was used in common by all the Egyptians, and as already shown, not used upon sacred edifices. From these facts derived from ancient custom may be gathered why the ciphers of the common language of the Mexican Aborigines, we know it wasn't called Mexico back then, for those of us who are truly in the history, are not found upon their temples. And as a consequence, the absence of the spoken language upon those temples proves them. In bracket, well, in parentheses, it states this: from the ancient custom, and to have been erected at a period when the peculiar custom was practiced, and therefore, in parentheses, apart from other considerations. So they're throwing things in. Considerations, that means making up some shit. That's all that is. And the time of the erection must be anyway, that's what she said. Anyway, must be viewed at a remote antiquity. The stucco now, listen to this, was painted, and in different places about we discovered the remains of red, blue, yellow, black, and white. Again, in the language of the fine arts, black and white are not received as colors. They are merely accessories. You think I'm lying? Red, blue, and yellow are the three and the only primitive earth colors, and by their amalgamation in certain proportions, in parentheses it states, aided by the subordinates black and white, the accessories, all secondary colors or tints, strictly speaking, are produced. That's right. You know, if you mix red and blue, what do you get? If you mix yellow and blue, what do you get? If you mix red and yellow, if you mix all three, if you get what I'm saying? Anyway, the rainbow possesses but three primitive colors, and it does. But by their juxtaposition and refractions, the purple, orange, green, and violet are produced. Shades. And if y'all in the art, you know, like I do, and that's based upon fact. Titian painted a picture in which he used only the three primitives, but taking the rainbow for his mistress in coloring, he so arranged the juxtapositions of the original and divine three, and the cloud-created iris might well be jealous of the triple tints of Titian. No greater proof could be given of antiquity than the discovery of the Mexican Aborigines were ignorant of the art of mixing colors. For the three primitives only, and not the secondary colors, are found upon the temples. The Tyrian dye, or purple, was not extracted from the earth, but from the shells. I learned that as a child from my great-grandma. She used to make purple with seashells and lime. Anyway, the Tyrian dye, or purple, well, hold on, was not extracted from the earth, but from the sea. See, there you go, from a shellfish, since called the purple, which is royal, not blue. For ages, it was believed that the rainbow possessed 7 colors. Science has proved that it contains but 3. Nature has no more, and without even alluding to other religious opinions, the Trinity is even figured in the rainbow. And that's why they must perverse it, with these goopies running around, confused. And they're goopies because that's what they are. They're not thinking for themselves. They're calamity. And because they want a civil war, but they want to use the most weakest subjects and crayon colors of black and white fiction. That's why I laugh every time a Palestinian comes along talking about, oh, wait, oh, nigga, you was considered dead when you were found. Stop. And that's why you were labeled black. It had nothing to do with marvelous or nothing, but without or lightly with melanin. The fuck? That's why black existed. Without. How the fuck can we be black when we're full? Dumbasses. The Trinity is even figured in the rainbow, as I stated. But other than that, divine arts viewed in this figurative manner has indeed the eye of the Almighty upon it, the three in one. It is not only the covenant, but the type of salvation the Father to his children. And so every time I see a little lesbian or homosexual running around with a rainbow flag, I remember it's just a flag. It is not a hue of the truth of the earth's energy, the light reflection or refraction amongst the water above as it is below. But who would make such a perversion? And the enemy, the darkness. Okay? We'll pick up the next part tomorrow. I hope that was well received. I had it comfortable. My belly stuck. Arthur Kessler, the 13th tribe. Here we are. When we last left off, we were right at the episode testifies to a nice feeling for the strategy of mutual deterrence and the dangers of escalation. It also shows once more that the Khazars, rulers, felt emotionally committed to the fate of Jews in other parts of the world. And watch this, the Muslims in the city, Itzel, have a cathedral mosque with they pray and attend on Fridays. It has a high minaret and several mezzanines. In brackets, it states criers who call for prayer from the minaret. And when the king of the Khazars was informed in AH 310, that's AD. That's all AH is. I wanted to let y'all know. AH is AD. Okay? 922. Right, peeping now. That the Muslims had AH 310 is AD 922. Pay attention. That the Muslims had destroyed the synagogue, which was in Dar el Bombardage, and in brackets it states unidentified place in the Muslim territory. And he gave orders to destroy the minaret, and he killed the muezzins. And he said, if I had not feared that not a synagogue would be left standing in the lands of Islam, but would be destroyed, I would have destroyed the mosque too. Wow. Masadi's account of the 912-13 Rus insurrection into the Caspian ends with the words, there has been no repetition on the part of the Rus of what we have described since that year. As coincidences go, Masadi wrote this in the same year, 943, in which the Rus repeated their incursion into the Caspian with an even greater fleet. But Masadi could not have known this. For 30 years after the disaster of 913, they had lain off that part of the world. Now they felt evidently strong enough to try again, and it is perhaps significant that their attempt coincided within a year or two, and with their expedition against the Byzantines under the swashbuckling Igor, which perished under the Greek fire. In the course of this new invasion, the Rus gained a foothold in the Caspian region in the city of Burdha, and were able to hold it for a whole year. In the end, pestilence broke out among the Rus, and the Azerbaijanians were able to put the survivors to flight. This time, the Arab sources do not mention any Khazar share in the plunder, nor in the fighting, but Joseph does. In his letter to Hasdai, written some years later, I guard the mouth of the river, and do not permit the Rus who come in their ships to invade the lands of the Arabs. I fight heavy wars with them. Whether or not on this particular occasion the Khazar army participated in the fighting, the fact remains that a few years later they decided to deny the Russians access to the Khazar Sea, and that from 943 onward, we hear no more of Rus incursions into the Caspian. This momentous decision, in all likelihood, motivated by, pay attention, internal pressures of the Muslim community in their midst involved the Khazars in heavy wars with the Rus. Of these, however, we have no records beyond the statement in Joseph's letter. They may have been more in the nature of skirmishes, except for the one major campaign of AD 965, mentioned in the Old Russian Chronicle, which led to the breaking up of the Khazar Empire. And we'll get to the campaign tomorrow. See how he's given direction? Things are skewed because, again, remember, he's raised in that lie. He saw it and he knew it for what it was. That's why he wrote the book and why him and his wife. You get me? Was suicide. And behold a pale horse, which is one of their traits. And we see it every day. And if you study certain handbooks based on certain groups of organizations, y'all would know this. They don't care about nothing. They steal identities. They make sure everybody else has got false identities. Inversion. Everything must be backwards, reversed, upside down, inverted. In order for them, that's where they draw their power. But there's something leading them. So, William Cooper, behold a pale horse. You know, it's funny when people want you to watch all these little dumb videos and shit on Instagram or Facebook. No, y'all can stow that shit. Don't send me no more of that crap. And then you always tell the emotional ones, especially when, okay, I won't share them no more. Yeah, thank you. That's all I got to say. Thank you. Fuck them little videos and stuff. I share stuff that'll bring a little light to the eyes, and people selling it, they're sharing goofy things. As if in our age, like, we need to see something to affirm who we are. Like, oh, fuck. Right? And then sometimes you got to put your foot down. What is you doing? The internet has become a place where people have become delusional. One young brother I respect is Jah Brickz. He keeps throwing knowledge out there, but based upon his diet, which is raw fruits and vegetables. His mind is equipped, even in North New Jersey, Brick City, to which I once lived. Even amongst all that perversion, no, there's many brothers and sisters over there who know who they are now. Not just because of me and some other relatives and people, because it's still fluid there. It's just that not everybody takes on because they're all about hustling for the damn dollar or boxing or some new tweety stuff, you know. Chapter 5, Goodbye USA, hello, New World Order. Backbone of hidden governments, subversion of the balance of power, the plan to suspend the Constitution and declare martial law. It could probably be shown by facts and figures that there is no distinctly Native American criminal class except Congress. Listen, it could probably be shown by fact and figures that there is no distinctly Native American criminal class except Congress. Mark Twain, 1885, and I told y'all we were still running this motherfucker. Are y'all paying attention? I know people have a hard time with it. There ain't no problem. The balance of power. When our forefathers wrote the Constitution of these United States, they provided safeguards against despotism by providing a balance of power. The Constitution was set up to... Here they go. Anyway, he's Vietnam era, and so I'm gonna respect the fact that his ignorance is just blatantly because of the system. But it's not that he's wrong in his deliverance of other things. It's just that, you know, he's a pale skin. He didn't know no better. I believe he thought he had some native blood too. Ours. I'm talking about applied to us before it applied to the foreigners who were lied to, scripted in. Anyway, the Constitution was set up to provide clear divisions of legislative, judicial, and executive powers. It was believed that this system would ensure that if one branch got out of hand, the other two would act to keep the one in check. This balance of power was predicated on the assumption that none of the three branches could or would infringe on the power of the others. The Constitution is clear on the functions of each of the branches. The legislative will make the laws, the judicial will interpret the law, and the executive will decide policy and enforce the law. This, of course, is the simplest of explanations, but this is not a textbook on government. My intent is to acquaint you with simple basics of the balance of power so that you can then understand how it has been subverted. Understand? The legislature, Congress, in the form of the House and Senate, is required to publish the laws that are made, and this is done in the Congressional Record and the Federal Register. Pending or past legislation can be obtained by citizens through their congressmen or from the government printing office. Citizens cannot be held responsible for the law if it is not made available to them, which it never is. It is paradoxical that the government body especially if they didn't vote on it, most representatives of the American citizen is the one that has American, not U.S. citizen, American citizen. And y'all keep signing these fake fraudulent motherfuckers, but yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen. Tell them put American on there. Send, if they say, well, we gotta have an answer, you get in touch and say, I'm not resigning this crap. I'm coercing myself to this lie. Anyway, because it's corrupt. Anyway, in a paradoxical that the government body, most representatives of the American citizens, is the one that has been the most easily subverted through PACs, payoffs, pork barrel politics, professional politicians, congressmen who are members of secret societies through greed and fear, so they can be blackmailed, our representatives and senators quit representing us long ago, and they have. Congress has tremendous powers, Congress has tremendous powers, but fails in most cases to exercise even a token amount. How is it that our legislator has allowed and at times encouraged the executive branch to write law? Right? Pay attention. You probably did not know that the president and others in the executive branch of the government can and do write law. This is done in the form of presidential executive orders, National Security Council memos, National Security Decisions, directives, and National Security directives. NSC memos were broad policy papers in the days after passage of the National Securities Act, the NSC. Memos became narrower and more specific over the years, and the name has varied. Under Kennedy, they were called National Security Action Memorandums. President Bush has changed the name to National Security Directives. Mr. Skull and Crossbones himself, with Mr. Kerry and all them bucks. There is a tremendous difference between presidential executive or orders, NSC memos, and National Security Decision directives. Presidential executive orders are listed in the Federal Register or presidential findings, which are made known to the House and Senate Intelligence Committees. The most important difference between the presidential executive orders and all the others, no matter what they are called, is that the others do not have to be reported, reviewed, made available to anyone, or even acknowledged that they exist. There is no oversight whatsoever that could maintain a check on the legality of these national security directives. The president and others within the executive branch have used these super secret directives to skirt the balance of power, and write law without anyone's knowledge. Justification of the president's power to write law through executive or orders stems from the failure of the government to rescind the declaration of martial law during the Civil War. In effect, the United States has been under martial law ever since Lincoln's administration. That's why they murdered him. Y'all can look this up. I couldn't wait to read that to y'all. That's where we're going to stop it. Want to read it again? In effect, the United States has been under martial law ever since Lincoln's administration. That means the last true Negro. Autochthonous. Not Melungeon and not no pale-skinned whitewash bullshit. The last real motherfucker of this republic was murdered, you simpletons. Because he didn't even like the war. He detested it. And there was many lies behind it. But he did sell his soul. DNA of the gods, the Anunnaki, creation of Eve, and the alien battle for humanity. Everything you've been seeing has been nothing but a goddamn act. And that's why Kennedy was sick and tired of it. He had probably witnessed many things like certain other individuals who ended up dead, who were repulsed by the faggotry and the murders, the child, the red shoes from baby skins. And, oh, man, the things I learned from my uncle, certain people, I didn't believe. The information is out there. Research Italy. Look into some deep things in dark books that you can't buy here, but you can purchase overseas. Anyway, the Anunnaki creation of Eve and the alien battle for humanity by Chris H. Hardy. Okay. The enigmatic MEs. The Anunnaki are filled with awe and wonder toward the mysterious aura of power of the divine formulas. The MEs that endow their owner with specific knowledge, power, and charisma. The MEs. I don't care, you can call it what you want. Although the king of the gods, Anu, is too much of a pragmatist and a politician to attribute a high value to scientific skills themselves, he cannot not believe in the MEs, whose ownership is what bestows on an Iberian the power to reign, to heal, to perform holy rites, to control any technological and scientific facility, and the like. The tablets give us an inkling of these powerful devices used in all temples, and in parentheses it states, that is the centers of science and spirituality, and because they are described whenever a temple is robbed, defiled, or destroyed. For example, with Zu robbing Enlil's control center in Nippur, or Nergal/Era creating havoc in Marduk's temple in Babylon, and also with Ninorta or Ninorta, yes, like that, something like that, I forget, who after Marduk has been released from his imprisonment in the Great Pyramid, said to either destroy this temple, MEs, or monopolize them for his own purpose. Now, the Tablet of Destinies in Enlil's Nippur temple, we'll read that tomorrow. You know I read this, right? With the all guys, it's leaning somewhere. I know some of y'all going, well, what's the MEs? Look up Anunnakis, look up MEs. I've read it a few times in a few books in the past. You can go back and watch the videos. It does me a service and it does you a service. Okay? I'm going to read this part tomorrow because it's pretty long. No, it really is. This one I've grazed over. It's pretty long. Yeah. Yeah, that's y'all gonna like this. This one right here. Yeah. Whew. And it goes back to Wolf 148, which I went over that. So you're gonna like this one. Definitely. That was just because we're talking about government. We're talking about how this one, the fact that as far as what people believe are Anunnakis or this, that, and the other, and the Nibiru and all that other stuff, right? The government, the betrayal, the robbing from one another, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the small gods are the big gods, however you want to look at it. And it is well known now that the fake crown in England and these politicians all think they're Phoenicians. They believe, seriously, they really do. And they're all cousins. They're all related. Inbred. You know, right? Look into it. I'm not lying. This is something they've been practicing. They really believe this. Okay? And that's why we go over to the book of Giants. All right? The Watchers, Nephilim, and the book of Enoch. All right? By Joseph Lambert. I'm not showing the other books. My apologies. So you know what this one looks like, right? And you know what the pale horse looked like. Whew, nobody could forget that one. Okay, here we go. Now we're at chapter 32. 1. And after I had smelled, well, when we left off, it was at, and beyond these mountains I saw another mountain to the east of the ends of the earth, and on which there were aloe trees, and all the trees were full of fruit, being like almond trees. And when it was burned, it smelled sweeter. No, hold on. Was it 28? Hold on, let me make sure. I went far to the east, and I saw another place, a valley full of water, like one that would not run dry. And there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees that right. Was that of a mastic? Yeah, that's right. And on the sides of those valleys, I saw fragrant cinnamon, and beyond this. So we was at 28. My apologies, y'all. Because we said, and then I blessed the creator of glory and set out his glory and praise him gloriously, right? 1, chapter 28. Then I went towards the east and into the midst of the mountain range in the desert, and I saw a wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gushed out from above. This is where we left off at, rushing like a torrent which flowed towards the northwest. It caused clouds and dew to fall on every side. Now, chapter 29. Then I went to another place in the desert and approached to the east of this mountain range, and there I saw aromatic trees exuding the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, and the trees also were similar to the almond tree. And beyond these I went far to the east, and I saw another place, a valley full of water, like one that would not run dry. And there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees was that of mastic. And on the sides of those valleys I saw fragrant cinnamon, and beyond these I proceeded to the east. And in 31 it states, and I saw other mountains, and among them were groves of trees, and there was nectar that flowed from them, which is named Sahara and Galbanum. And beyond these mountains I saw another mountain to the east of the ends of the earth, on which there were aloe trees, and all the trees were full of fruit, being like almond trees. And when it was burned, it smelled sweeter than any fragrant odor. When we left off yesterday, we were talking about the valley with the place where people be gathered. Okay, all right, just a reminder. In chapter 32, and after I had smelled these fragrant odors, I looked towards the north over the mountains. I saw 7 mountains full of fine nard and fragrant trees of cinnamon and pepper. And then I went over the summits of all these mountains far towards the east of the earth, and passed over the Red Sea, and went far from it, and passed over the angel Zoteli. That is such a beautiful picture anyway. And I came to the garden of righteousness. I saw far beyond those trees more trees, and they were numerous and large. There were 2 trees there, very large, beautiful, glorious, and magnificent. The tree of knowledge, whose holy fruit they ate and acquired great wisdom. That tree is in height like the fir, and its firmament, and its leaves are like those of the carob tree. And its fruit is like the clusters of the grapes, very beautiful, and the fragrance of the tree carries afar. Then I said, how beautiful is the tree, and how attractive how attractive is its look. Then Raphael, the holy angel, who was with me, answered me and said, this is the tree of wisdom, which your father of old and your mother of old, who are your progenitors, have eaten. And they learned wisdom, and their eyes were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden. Now, I'm going to finish right there, and I want to make a statement. This is why I detest religion. If they ate of the tree of wisdom, not life, then why would any angel have to come down and show them metallurgy, this, that, and the other, and that stuff? That's why I read Anunnaki and that stuff and the custodians. That's bullshit. But they knew all things if that's the case. They knew all things for their eyes were open like God. Is that what it states? So what the fuck would some angel have to come down here? We already covered what the angels are. There's two different times, mechanical and flesh. And you know the island, or the earth that they live on. But under that dome. Yet, make it make sense. You can. And when I've hit pastors and deacons and all these individuals with that, they sit there going, where'd you get that question from? What do you mean where I get that question? Think. If they ate from the tree of wisdom and gained all this knowledge and their eyes were open like God, why would they have to be shown how to make weapons and all that bullshit? Does that make sense? I know that I know that worship gene in some motherfuckers, the caps on the X chromosome, I know it's strong. So I'm not trying to bring delusion and make you feel like, I don't want to curse God, I don't want to go to hell. If a nigga named Dante's painting inferno of several levels, you need to understand what that means. If you have 7 chakras, if they create a hell in each one, that's a disruption from order. That means disorder. That means chaos. They put you in chaos. That means turmoil. That means separating you from order. Do you need me to further break this down? Because I know none of you thought about this. I've never seen nobody, no yogi or anybody that's going to break this down for you. Okay? Did you get that? T. Dante's Inferno? Hogwash. But he's telling you exactly what they're fucking doing to create the delusion and division. Inversion, do you get it? Inverted. So we must go into an inversion to grasp, gain the balance, to hold the Atlas up. You ever notice Atlas holding the world is not what it was? He was not holding up a fake ass round world, y'all. At the 33rd, what is it holding up? Right? Where's the universe? The Christ fluid around the brain in the sac, right? Jacob's ladder. 33 levels from the sacrum, right? Once was loose. Y'all get it. I hope you do. Sooner than later. Then maybe you'll be able to arise to a different occasion. If you're in here watching, man, hit the like. I'll go. Go back to whatever you was doing. Follow whoever it is you follow. Get out of here. I'm not here for the masses. He's got some idiots. Probably some people we know too. Just hard pressed because of things I said. A bunch of idiots. Exposing the Expositions, 1851 and 1915. Revised edition. This is the revised edition, 2021 from his 2019. This is Heidi Mikowski. Weak ass, coward ass, punk motherfuckers looking. Oh, I'm gonna run and talk about this. It probably some pale skin or some motherfuckers looking because they done saw, oh, he got a channel. We gonna go over there. You ain't gonna do shit. Wasting your time looking over here. Probably is somebody we know, some goofball. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into this. Now, yesterday I showed you the Rose Window St. Nicholas Cathedral, Nantes, right? Remember I expressed to you about a certain harmonic, y'all seen the thing with frequencies and what it does with sand and water and all that beautiful stuff, but also with the correction. That's why we had, remember the organ that had over, what was it, how many millions of different tones and sounds that heal, repair skin. This stuff was serious. And who took it apart? By whose orders? Think about it. So anyway, and with the blood can do that too. They need the blood not to be able to do that, not to be able to reconnect back to the source and the energy of life. Well, you see, one of the dumb fucks left. Good. We got one still holding on. Let's go ahead and get into this. Also, the cathedrals were constructed on top of an energy spot on the earth. And in parentheses it states, often on top of an older structure from the temple building period. And in order to combine the energy from the ground with the sky, this energy could then either be used by the building in question or amplified and sent out to the entire city. If I hurt your little feelings because you don't want to like but you still want to hang around, fuck you. And if I know you, double fuck you for being an asshole sitting here watching, punk motherfucker. Anyway, yeah, it's not for children. I'll hurt you. I'll get you in your feelings, motherfucker. Anyway, in order to combine the energy from the ground with the sky, this energy could then either be used by the building in question or amplified and sent out to the entire city. And we know that it's all around us. It's not in the sky, it's right here. They always want you to look up as if the sky is a different place. No, it's all around you. You dig what I'm saying? It's probably one of them little fake 13 tribe punk motherfuckers or one of they little Jesuit bitch niggas watching. Anyway, the sky amplified and sent out to the entire city. The stone are a dumb nigga. The stone and its layout make the building a giant machine. Brick City, okay? Which you remember growing up, Stu, and how the roads were all bricks or these round, like marble, and then all they did was go and pave over them and put dirt and rocks and pave over them. They're still there, but what does that do? That cut the energy. That's why we said when we go down to that those fake ass so-called Vatican, those are still Tartarian. You can see the beautiful designs. And I remember the guy saying there's a hole in the floor and it goes way down, but we're not allowed to go behind it. But I went down with the dude, and then we went down and was like, hey, there's a whole goddamn building under here. And that's the one in Newark, New Jersey. And it's still in the central focal point, and you can see, look, man. And them little perverts standing there with their little robes and stuff, green and white, walking around with a fake ass scepter and shit like they somebody, bunch of fucking frauds. So they look like they looking at the little boys and, you know, punk motherfuckers. Anyway, the stone and its layout make the building a giant machine, which spirals the energy drawn from the sky and up from earth within the cathedral. We know that's not what it is, but we'll use that. It will then, perhaps after the addition of organ music. Hey, Rondo, who was that looking? I know you could see. Vibration to affect the human organs and then to be sent out through the giant rose windows, which are made in the shape of cinematic wave patterns, into the city now charged with that particular frequency. Each rose window is in fact a frequency projection device based on the geometric pattern on which it was formed. Added to this is the phenomenal carving. Don't worry, I'll go and look on the laptop. I can see it myself. That these cathedrals have, in parentheses, state both inside and outside. Yeah, I can definitely go and see who you are, you dumb fuck. Either in the form of decorative shapes or statues, while adding to the overall beauty. They are also there. They are also there to act as energy resonators and amplifiers. Thank you. Thus, you must think of cathedrals as vibrational generators, similar to a temple such as Karnak or Luxor. Yeah, old punk ass motherfucker. Created vibrational energy makeup. Thank you, brother. There was a reason. When I go on the laptop, I'll see who the fuck the goofy is. Probably with a fake, well, no subscribers, 0 account, you know, one of these goofy fucks. There was a reason Pythagoras and Goethe both claimed that architecture was music frozen in stone. It's probably somebody that worked with FuckTube. I mean, YouTube, not FuckTube. I'm thinking about, you know. Oh, you ain't giving me a like? Oh, wow, just gonna be on here watching it. Well, my apologies. Why don't you say something? Man, that's some old raw ass shit, man. All right, my respect. Man, I'm trying to reach a certain audience, y'all. And this, man, come on. Let me read that again, man. There was a reason Pythagoras and Goethe both claimed that architecture was music frozen in stone. To add a bit of modern science to the discussion, I present three terms: magnetron, cathode, and resonance. The same thing with some of the old homes that I've seen, and like the one that I lived in on Essex Avenue, before they built the chimney, there wasn't one, but there was two shallow holes in the back. And I was told that mercury-filled orbs would be in there, and they would resonate the energy from that big thing that they put in the basement that was later become this, the heater, the big furnace. That wasn't what was there before, y'all. The home that I lived on at Essex Avenue, 118, it was very, very old. It was stated that Washington had marched down and came into the house that I was in. And hey, Mikey Hill was cracking. And my apologies. I gotta get the bad people out of here, and so don't take it personal, But and when I was working doing construction and painting houses by myself, I didn't want no help. I would have a week by James paint doctors doing pools and houses. I would take these big houses, other than because I did roofing. I would lay 3 tiles in under an hour, so $75 an hour is what I made when I came home. And I would do the roofing, and then they'd be like, "Yo, James, we got 2 houses that need to be painted. 2 weeks. Send the paint over there, put the ladders up. I'll bring my own equipment." And in under a week, I would actually paint the whole entire house. And everybody was come around watching me put the scaffold up by myself. And they're like, "Who is this little red?" Not understanding that I'm not afraid of heights. And I can sling paint like a motherfucking crackhead, slinging rocks, crack dealer. You know what I'm saying? And I went in some of these houses because the people would come by and they hadn't really furnished and moved in. They're doing some knocking on walls, and they would invite me in. I don't see a chimney, and I would look, and there's a fireplace, and it's not a fireplace. And I'm like, and I would see the copper where whatever's supposed to be there, and these 2 little holes in the ground. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we got to put a chimney in." Nigga, how old is this house? 210 years old. Montclair, New Jersey. We had some old Lackawanna Plaza. I told you. And the houses, the ones that got the little castle steeple on the sides with the little, to a point. Them houses that look like little castles over there, and coming up from 4th Ward, like you're going up towards the fake museum. What the Mercedes car dealership used to be at, across from the Ford when Eddie Murphy, you know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, that's what I used to be getting, because big houses and a lot. I got paid a lot. You paint a house in a week, man. I walk away with damn near $5,000. You know what I mean? And it's real, seriously. Anyway, to add a bit of more science to discussion, I present 3 terms: magnetron, cathode, and resonance. A cavity magnetron is a high-powered vacuum tube that generates microwaves using the interaction of a stream of electrons with a magnetic field while moving past a series of open metal cavities. Cavity resonators, in parentheses. Electrons pass, pay attention, because y'all know I love science and shit, by the cavities and cause radio waves to oscillate within. And I should have been the oscillators we learned on. Similar to the way a whistle produces a tone when excited by an airstream blown past its opening. Oh, I took it upstairs. I was about to hit my flute. Anyway, yeah, I did take it upstairs. Anyway, so what does that mean? It means that the way the device is constructed will create and amplify a microwave frequency. That's why a lot of those things back then used to have what they use on the nuclear bomb, that radiation thing, hazmat, hazardous. That's what used to be on those places, but they weren't dangerous because you could bathe with that shit, and it would remove impurities from you without causing you radiation poisoning and sickness. And that goes back to what I was stating before. Dante's Inferno, to fuck up the 7 chakras to give you a perception of hell that if you don't elevate your Christ factor, you don't make it through these 7 hells they persecuted and put upon you based upon Rockefeller and his father in 1901 and 1933. And in the 60s with the OSS CIA, they created this institution called education system to pervert you based on curriculums to make you dumber. After wars took those who could teach you, and murders and everything else. Are you paying attention now? It's not my loss for those who leave, come and go. Like I said, for those of you, great that you remain. An early form of the magnetron was invented in 1910, so we know it wasn't invented. It was not new. And another by General Electric in 1920, when we know what they did, right? But it was not until the 1940s when German, Russian, and British researchers used these ideas to improve radar technology. The magnetron works with resonance, and any device that shows such properties is known as a resonator. In fact, many of the images of one, in parentheses it states, which look like the bullet holes of a revolver when looked at straight on, also resembles, to me, the layout of the Pantheon. In Rome, musical instruments use acoustic resonators that produce sound waves of specific tones, while quartz crystals, and in parentheses it states, used in electronic devices such as radio transmitters and quartz watches, will produce oscillations of very precise frequencies. Some musical instruments generate the sound directly, such as the wooden bars in a xylophone, the head of a drum, and the strings and string instruments, or the pipes in an organ. Somebody, y'all know that Prince and Jimi Hendrix played at 432 hertz. Are y'all aware of that? Oh, look it up. Anyway, the head of a drum. Anyway, modify the sound by enhancing particular frequencies, such as the sound box of a guitar or violin, to amplify, to hollow, as in going ha ha ha, getting echoes, or direct, which gives a louder, like the subwoofer or something like that, or a horn. Many 5-string banjos have removable resonators, so players can use the instrument with a resonator in bluegrass style or without it in folk music style. We created bluegrass and folk. We used to tell our stories to pass on to generations when we were being fought. And they stole all that shit from us. And they made bluegrass into fucking some Christian bullshit. Oh, I'm well versed in this fucking history, y'all. Just because y'all ain't, you can learn something. Okay? If you emotionally feel in a liberal, get the fuck gone. We don't need y'all at all. We need you to stay right where you at and be all emotional and fucked up. And if you got jab, we may have a way to kill some of them spiked goddamn proteins. We may. Even though you could do it with this and this, which they're attacking this. Because if they attack this, that's like the engine of a fucking motor car. If the engine's dead, gaskets blown, oil leaking and fluids, no electric, the starter won't jump, you know what I'm saying, and motor over, your bell house is fucked up, your belt, your firewheel, you know what I'm saying, your distributor cap, you know what I mean? So they attack the motherfucking motor. You get what I'm saying? First, they make sure that you're putting in crude oil, fucked up crude oil, not good shit, and fucked up gasoline. All right? And then they say, oh, we can't have the motherfucking natural gases and shit, so we got to get this motherfucker. We got to make sure that this motherfucker's eating the worst shit, so we ain't got no blue RT, what you call it, for sealing, RV, the RT, the shit that I use for my guns and all that. But anyway, and make sure that the gaskets blow out and they'll leak and they won't be no good. And then they got you walking around in synthetics. That means cheap paint. So you can't weather the storm. Scratches and abrasions everywhere. And it ain't steel no more. It's fake ass tanning, plastics, and all this other bullshit with crumble zones. As if you're supposed to crumble the fuck up. You get where I'm coming from? T. Heaven Bearers, the Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood. Janine Helen. Y'all know I got a South Africa that year. That's an African. There goes the African. I'm just saying. Trying to make us from somewhere we ain't fucking from. Bastards. Okay, I want to make sure I end off right. Okay, please place your hand here, my queen, and repeat after me. She places her right hand gently onto the staff of the elders and makes full eye contact with him. Okay, Azrael or Cassiel, whatever. Yeah, Cassiel. Okay, anyway. Gently onto the staff of the elders and makes full eye contact with him. His eye draws her in completely, and time stands still. Images flash before her eyes, and she knows that destiny was real. She was meant to be his, and she doesn't understand why destiny didn't succeed. What stopped it, she wonders, and quickly shakes the thought away. I, Queen Bonnie Harrington, the duly elected ruler, do hereby swear my allegiance to the Empire of Tartaria. I promise to never lie, cheat, or deceive in any way or form, and await a slow and painful death if I break my oath. That sounds like some Masonic shit, right? We are Tartarian. Our life is Hebraicism. It's not a religion. And these motherfuckers call themselves Phoenicians are far from it. She suddenly pulls her eyes away from Cassiel. She feels nauseous and wants to puke. There's a presence among them. She can't see or feel who it is, but she can feel him or her, and she knows that this presence is pure evil. She tries to regain her composure and musters up a smile, but it feels fake. You ever smile and you just want to? If you don't want to smile, don't smile. It's a defeatist mentality in persona that no one should honor, but have more honor about themselves. Someone will betray you. This is what her father told you. Does that sound like Christ and Judas? Her, and she knows that he is right. This is someone here that will betray her, and her body tenses up because she knows it will be someone she will trust and not suspect. She can feel Malcolm focus his gaze at her. He is trying to read her thoughts, but she blocks him out completely and pretends her mind isn't wandering. They finish the proceedings, and she stands up, proudly next to Cassiel. They wave one more time, and in that moment, she is very glad to have him share the responsibilities with her. Although not officially, he loves his people. He would die for them, and this is what is needed to rule the empire well, and most importantly, fairly. Malcolm and Bonnie leave New York and go back home to their mansion in Montreal. They have spent 2 weeks there, and she looks forward to the change of scenery. Bonnie doesn't want to live anywhere else. Montreal is home, and it always will be. She kicks off her shoes, and Jane suddenly appears from nowhere and helps her with Amelia. Thank you, Jane. It has been a long day, she says as she hands Amelia to her. Now you see how the kids grew up and all of a sudden went back to being little children again. She is fast asleep, and I don't know if anybody paid attention to that when I was reading it a few pages back. She can't help but smile at her angelic little face. Malcolm follows Jane upstairs with a meal, and they put them both to bed. Bonnie walks over to the kitchen and makes us a pot of mint tea and takes it with her upstairs. She runs a hot bath while she sips the tea and climbs in. It must be chamomile. Anyway, the warm water feels good. It relaxes her body, and she stares at the light bulb up on the ceiling and grins. It's almost like a rhyme. She closes her eyes and relishes the moment and the fact that they won at least the first round. Over the past few months, they changed many of the repurposed buildings back to what they were originally built for. Unfortunately, much of the knowledge has been lost, but they are working hard to learn all that they can from all the different books in the libraries that managed to survive all of these years. The library in the mansion proved to be very helpful, and the big book, the one that was stored in the glass case, is full of knowledge about the harnessing of free energy. They have translated some of it, but not all yet. And we'll pick up on the next part tomorrow. God, oh man, y'all see how all that kind of followed each other? Are y'all paying attention? And they are like, did he really read all the books to get to that point? In order to find something, even if it might not be that truthful, we have to find a way to dispel some things, and we must utilize some of the knowledge we have, and then we must circumvent something that is relative. Like, I've got a lot of people who say they're Hebrew, and then I've got to make a correlation to correction.
when did you partake in this religion? And when did it become a religion? And why is it a religion? And why must you bow down and worship something that made you as great as you are? Why is that people stop at one particular place and hold themselves there without questioning? Because it says, don't question. It never said that. It says question me. Question me, always ask. Seek and ye shall find. Ask, knock and ye shall enter. Ask and you'll be given an answer. But the problem is, most times you don't even seek yourself. You don't knock on your own door, nor do you ask yourself responsible questions. That is the disharmony, the disharmonic nature of who we become. And that is not of our own doing. If you paid attention when I said about food, air, water, 7 Dante's Inferno, and then 7 chakras, we are on the descent. We need to ascend. Jacob's ladder, Atlas, power, the strength, why they attack the motor. Are you paying attention? Who designed this and who has made it so almost not flawless, almost perfect? And yet they are going balls to the wall because they are watching and listening because of this. It's not because they need to see your face. It's not because they don't already know who you are. It's because they know they known that we would start talking these things. That's what I've been reading you the Anunnakis, and wait until we start reading about the wars. And then we go back to the Anakim, back in Nos Confoundum. Oh, we're going to read that again. I hope y'all appreciated the reading. Let me see here. Who all came in? Rondo already hit you up. Ray Wolf, Beloved. Alison Cooper. All right, you was here. I saw you. Love, I saw you. My apologies. I thought it was somebody. It was somebody. I'm going to look and see who it was. My fault, love, sister. It's new. You know I got you, girl. Mikey Hill, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, man, it's all right. They're doing that, man. It's what they're going to do, man. You know, I always say if you're powerful, you don't have to do those things. So obviously they're not that powerful. And Mountainside Ave is full of Tartarian houses. We used to trick or treat on that street. Exactly. The Slavos, Kojak house gave the most candy. They dang sure did. Now, hold on, Mississippi. What's going on, Slew family? Yeah, my apologies though. Again, I don't, you know, I thought it, Alicia and Cooper. Thank you though. I wasn't attacking you. I was going after these people who ain't doing shit and don't like and this that, come looking all retarded. I don't want just anybody joining. I salute the people who are subscribed. I respect you all honorably, but it's the people that come gazing. You know, the idiots, the fools, the fake motherfuckers. You know, they don't know what to say or do. When they come over, everybody, you know, because they're so uneducated and slothful. And then the secret society motherfucks. And then the people who I've told on Instagram and Facebook about to go live, they come looking. But if you look at what some of them post, it's heretic. It's bullshit. And it shows you that they don't have the fortitude. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the truth of strength. That are wavering victims, you know, always victimized motherfuckers, you know, and they come looking instead of sitting their ass still, stand still and be what? Come on now, people, stand still and be what? Don't just be observant, but be what? I figured y'all be typing your ass off. I figure y'all know this. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's about 9 o'clock on the east. Hour difference down towards Texas or Louisiana. So I'm gonna go ahead and mindful. Be mindful, not just observant, but be mindful. And mindful means what? Get a mind full. I always say, whenever I see people talking, now if I know it's just pure utter bullshit, then I go. Then there are times when I think it might be utter bullshit, but I stay to see if there's a door, a hinge, you know, a window that might crack open. And sometimes staying around, I go, oh nigga, you had me about to run off. Boy, now you breaking it down. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now you don't want to be too open-minded because people run in there and rob you. Be mindful. full. Yes, receive whatever you can. Just by being observant is enough. But no, I get where you're coming from, man. So I'm gonna go ahead, shut it down. I got a full belt. Well, it's not really full, y'all. Like I said, I done got back up to 225. I'll probably do some shoulder presses and some stretches before I go to bed, just because. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, I am like full. I haven't taken a pill for a while, y'all. There's moments when I feel like I need to take one. I ain't gonna lie. It's the anxiety comes in and I'm like, so I get a joint. Now I feel like I might really need to take a pill, but then it hits me. I'm manifesting this shit because they've had me on this poison over a fucking decade. And I'm the one that's been fighting to get off of it. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I took that copper this morning, because I felt like I might have to take the pill. And I took it on two tablespoons of olive oil and the scat. Y'all saw I took the fermented scat early this morning. And that ain't nothing, man. I got so damn nauseous. I was like, and the zinc, the liquid zinc, I know I got to take that with something to eat. And I took both of them. I was just driving like, mouth was just waterfalls up Niagara up in my mouth. Like, Nick, I'm about to throw them up. I'm going to the car wash. I can wash it off. There's somebody in the streets. I'm just driving like, I said, I better go live and talk to something, just say something. And that's why I came. I was like, God dang, man. I don't ever take chelated copper and liquid zinc. Don't take this stuff on an empty stomach. Just don't do it. Unless you just got rot gut. And I don't know. I don't think you can take it in. But anywho, no, I love you motherfuckers, man. I love you motherfuckers. Man, that's a double, man. Number of soldiers. You in the car run. Yo, I was like, yo, you saw you said you come over, you see me? I was like, I gotta talk. I'm drying my mouth because you saw me spitting. I said, I put the chow in to try and curb the shit because sometimes, but it's not tobacco. It's just, this is the fake shit. And I'm like, oh, damn, I can't swallow this shit. I'll definitely heave, oh. Man, I was like, damn it, I ain't eat shit. I was like, God dog, man, I ain't throwing up. And man, listen, y'all. Except for when I was drowning on blood, I was coughing blood clots about my lungs and suffering, like not able to breathe for over a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Like, what the fuck? I mean, blacking out type of thing. And I could hold my breath for over 3 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, what in the fly? And I was just like, oh no, Jay, get in your head. When I finally hung up, I was like, get in your head, calm your stomach. Just like that. Mouth stopped watering. Heard the shit of the damn car wash shit. Saw the people pull out in front of me. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Just fucking, let me get out of here. Wipe my windows and mirrors down and shit, bumpers and all that. I was good. I literally sat there. I thought, closed it. Which God? I was like, stop. The nauseousness went away. Dead ass serious. I appreciate you all. Truly do. How they say, Wada Wanishi. Thank you all. And thank you for the donations again, Stu. That's going towards books. Y'all can still donate. I'm going to get as many fucking books. I'm going to just one day go to the library, go to the post office and come in and go, look, motherfuckers. Just like, because I got a whole bunch now, man. But I want more. Books are grand. So what y'all saw me doing was purchasing 2 books. One was 1997. I'm not going to tell you what they are. And the other one was about, I think, $7.85. It's a small paperback, but it's based on giants. It's not Genesis 6, but I'm going to get that one with this here, and that's expensive. So whatever you get, it's going to the right goddamn place. Excuse me for the people who believe in the word God. My apologies. All right, so y'all have a grand evening. Tomorrow's Friday. They're Friday. We accept it as it is. It's fine. Put them feet in the goddamn dirt. It's a little warmer. Or in the soil, in the grass. If you got a lake, walk your ass out there in your drawers. Jump in that motherfucker. and soak up what good minerals you can. And don't worry about the mercury and lead. Your body will push it out. You got to speak these things into reality. You have to accept your responsibility to this life. All right? You'll have a grand evening.